Hello, Yang Gang. This is Nam. Let me see if this works. I have a visitor, I think. Daniel Ayerzon. Where is he? He's not here yet. Do 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 do. Videos. Live. There he is. There it is. Add to the stream. Hey, Daniel.
Hello.
All right. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so everything is working. Mic check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Right.
Yep, I
Sound
hear
okay?
you fine. Good. All right, I have a Daniel Ayerzon. Ayerzon, is that right?
Ayerzon, but
Ayerzon. I have Daniel Ayerzon with me today. I have not seen
close enough.
Daniel. I have not seen Daniel since what? Since
Since you dropped off candy to me in Texas.
Oh yeah, the trucker shirt.
And the trucker shirt, yes.
Yeah. Oh, candy and a trucker shirt.
Yeah, I just remember the candy, obviously. On the sweet tooth.
You asked me for that shirt. That shirt was hard to wear, though. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of occasion to wear it, but it's still a cool momentum to have.
Yeah. All right. This is my first time. I guess. No, it's not my first time, but first time attempting to actually have a talk. Mostly my thing has been test, just to see if this test live thing works. So hopefully I'll have we could create a content. Hopefully we could create a content where my head's okay. Hopefully we could create a content where I could, get a actual version that I could post on. Oh, hi. Can you see a comment? Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for the...
I don't see comments. Oh, I guess I could hit the chat. Let me try. Live.
Can I share my chat? Can I share my chat on this? I'm using StreamYard.
Yeah, it doesn't. You see the comments. I don't, apparently. It's fine.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I think I could show it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm still learning how to use this, so
yeah,
this is the first time. Yeah. How do I take that out? Minus.
How do you take what out?
Elizabeth Norris before. Okay. Now, all right, I have Daniel here with me, and I'm gonna ask him a whole bunch of questions, hopefully. Daniel, you are writing a book.
Yes.
And it's titled...
I am really close to being done.
Huh?
I'm past the middle of the book, so.
Oh, good. Okay, so it's supposed to be over 300 pages or near 300 pages?
Yeah,
book?
It'll probably be around 300 pages.
Okay. Title is
The New Leaders Are Yang Gang.
The New Leaders Are Yang Gang, right. Yeah.
Like Namen here.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm part of the book. I'm in the book somewhere.
Yes.
All right.
You are in the book somewhere.
Let me. I'm still working on your cover thing. Hold on. Let me see if I could bring something here.
Okay, I'll wait here for you.
I'll be right back. Entertain my people.
Meanwhile, a long, long time ago, I was on a political campaign as an outsider, following the ins and outs of everything this Asian man that likes math wants to do for the country. So anyway, that's me. That's what I was doing for the last year, and that's what the book is really about. It's about the journey from A to Z. No, it's the journey with the campaign, all the behind the scenes. Get the book.
Reason I'm
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead, keep up, finish up.
No, I was
Let
done.
me know. Yeah. Reason I got assigned to do cover for this book, and reason I'm late because I want to do a good job on it, and I got me a new tool. Actually, it's my mom's iPad, and I'm learning how to use this graphic tablet, and I didn't realize it was going to be so hard, because if I draw paper and color it, then I have to digitize it. So I was hoping I could just draw it onto a tablet and send you a JPEG file. That's why, and I'm learning how to draw on this thing. That's that's that's. Can you see it?
Yeah, is that me?
I'm still learning.
Okay.
So
You'll get there.
yeah, you go be in the. Let's see. I showed you this before, I think. This is a template I'm using.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to be in just somewhere in there. At the crowds, one of the crowds, right?
Yeah, looks good.
Anyway, so tell me about this book.
So it's really just a documentary with a lot of my opinion as to what happened, what kind of thoughts I had with the campaign with Andrew as time went on. There's a lot of, but I'm focused on the leaders because that's the title. The new leaders are Yang Gang. So I'm really highlighting like how it impacted people in the campaign and in general to also step up and be leaders and run for offices and, you know, kind of propel the campaign and stick up for universal basic income and, you know, start their own YouTube channels and things like that. So.
Right. You're one of the we'll call it OG.
I'm the first one. I'm the first YouTuber to join Andrew on the trail. Yes.
And then you went from South Carolina to Alaska. I think only place you haven't been to is Hawaii.
Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guam. I guess those are on my list. I don't know.
You've been. It seems like you've been to everywhere on the continent of the United States.
Yes.
From what could I gather? Well, you know, as long as Andrew was there, you probably was there.
Yeah, and if I wasn't there at the time Andrew was, I went back later.
Right. So. Let me see if I could show your channel. Let me.
Yeah, you probably can show it in a window, but you got to be careful with the sound because if you click on stuff to show like your screen and you don't click on share sound, then it mutes us. And so that's the only part of this that kind of gets kind of wonky on here.
I see. Well, thanks for the warning on that. So I tried not. Let me see if I could find you. What's the channel's name again? American Factory or something like that?
American Jobs.
American Job Factory.
And that also is my nonprofit, folks. So creating jobs for the future that don't destroy us.
Oh, you changed your logo.
Vision.
Okay.
Yeah, I updated it. You like?
Yeah, I like it. Let me share the screen. Share screen. This one. There you go. There you are. There's a Daniel's channel, American Jobs Factory. And if you go to his videos, oh, I'm clicking on the wrong area.
Yeah, I'm still highlighting the guy I had an interview with in Alaska. The sound's kind of wonky, but I just got a good microphone. Like,
oh, you were at the
Andrew
Mindful
was
Skeptic not too long ago.
Yes.
Okay. Voice. You've been with the Voice.
Yep, I was with the Voice.
Yeah.
We had a good conversation about God on there.
Atheist versus a Christian.
Yep.
I'm sure you can prove it.
I didn't really get to say everything I wanted to because it's kind of, there was a lot of cutting me off, but I just tried to kind of wrap it up at the end, but still, it's kind of tough. It's tough.
Oh, you met Scott Garibay also. I see
yes,
that.
Yes, it is.
Oh, cool.
I met Scott Santons too, but I don't have that
video. Oh, you
video.
have Scott Stanton? Okay. You don't have a video on Scott Stanton?
No, it's in my archives.
Yeah.
I went to the UBI march in New York, and I never posted anything about it.
So I'm sure you have a lot of these people that you met. Who's this guy? Is that the guy from South Carolina, the congressman?
No, that's Steve Marchand. He's the head of the New Hampshire.
Okay, yeah, New Hampshire, right? That's right. Go ahead.
And that guy in the left corner was New York. That guy in the left corner, he got onto The View.
Oh, from Brooklyn?
That guy.
Yeah, this guy right here. I see.
Yeah, he was on The View.
Oh, was he part of the Yang Gang that clapped and all that?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you've been everywhere, and I know I followed you from the beginning. I'm one of your followers from the beginning.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
You knew there's something I like about you, man.
I haven't been following everybody since I made my own YouTube channel because it's so time consuming to, my video takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, that's why I don't post as much as I need to, because I'm always trying to edit. Like, I'm trying to edit something right now, and I just can't get through it because I don't want to listen to myself right now. So it's
tough listening to myself. Actually, I don't like my voice, and it's really tough listening to yourself. I try to not put too much of my voice out there. That's why I don't do these live channels things, because I just don't like my voice. So
yeah, I'm trying to work on being deeper when I talk, so that I like my voice better.
Talk slower, talk slow. Yeah, I try to hide it with music. Then people complain about the music, and
yeah, can't win for losing.
So, you got your books on a what was that? What was that site that you went to?
So American Jobs Factory is my website.
Yeah.
And I just have one website with 3 different pages right now. The 3 different pages is like my business, the nonprofit, which I highlight the nonprofit anytime you go to my website, and then there's a page about my old book, which I still haven't published yet, but I've completely written that a long time ago. And so I did some blog posts about kind of the concept of the book on there.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what you're seeing now. You got this work yet?
Yeah, it works.
It works?
It should work. I've tested it on like 5 different computers. I don't know.
So this is all I get.
Well, that means that your computer's loading. I don't know why.
It takes forever.
Do you have some kind of security blocker?
Oh, you think that might be it?
Yeah.
No, I turned off block on my thing, ad blocker. You see that?
Yeah, probably that's what it is.
No, I turned it off. I turned it off.
Well, I would check it, see if
Anyway,
it's
Elizabeth thinks that's a great idea for a book. So anyway, it won't load up.
so I when you told me that, I had multiple people check it and they had no problem. So
I'm the only one,
I
huh?
don't know.
Oh
Yeah.
well.
So I
Yeah.
don't. I feel like it's something with your computer, but
Okay. Okay.
um, but that's why I sent Nam a copy,
Yeah,
a
I got
direct
the
copy,
original
direct.
copy.
Yeah. Well, and you have a link, so I'm updating the link with edits that I'm still working on there. So
Oh,
I have a new editor, but she's she's in Texas and she's experiencing tornado warnings right now, so she's a little bit preoccupied. So
yeah. Pretty soon, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, we all gonna face tornado here soon. A lot of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
You have a shelter? You in Texas too, right?
Bathtub. Yeah.
Better. My dad actually has a shelter. He finally made one.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
little stay for her. Anyway, tell me some of the people that you're going to write about besides myself.
Well, I start off with Leslie Smith. When I went to San Francisco, that was the first rally. Leslie Smith, who's an MMA fighter, talked about how she was penalized for trying to form a union because MMA fighters, and actually this happens with World Wrestling Entertainment, because they went outside of boxing and said, like, we're a different sport. They basically got to write the rules new. And so because they wrote the rules new, all the things that like traditional boxing had fought for rights for boxers, like safety things and having agency over their own image and revenue and things like that. All the things that they had fought for, years and years, were all thrown out because these two industries started anew and then started their own rules and then did this like legal thing to say basically boxing rules don't apply to them because they're not boxing. So now the people that participate in these sports are hurt pretty consistently and don't have adequate pay and protection for the sport. And so this was happening in MMA. They have, horrible insurance and disability. I don't even think they get disability if they get hurt. And so, knowing this, she tried to step up and form a union so she could have some, so MMA fighters could have some agency. And so what happened is she was getting penalized, and I don't know if she reached out to Andrew. I'll have to look at that again. She reached out to Andrew, or Andrew reached out to her, but he was helping her through the legal process in order to form a lawsuit against the MMA, agency, to get the kind of rights that that she should have. But there's a legal action that she took because they were penalizing her, underhandedly for trying to form a union. Like they were not booking her for fights, and they were, they're waitlisting her and harassing her and things like that.
She's a female wrestler, huh?
No, she's a female boxer, but it's called MMA, mixed martial arts.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that particular area of a sport.
Yeah. So it's mixed martial arts, so they can throw kicks and punches and they can do anything basically to submit, to get their opponent to submit.
I mean, look her up. What was her name again?
Leslie Smith.
MMA.
So, like I said, Andrew and her worked together to get some kind of legal action to help her go forward with trying to form a union. I don't know what the latest update would be, but that's her. And she announced Andrew a few times in California. And, she's just an awesome lady and just wants to help people,
Okay. So she's the one, she's a Yang Gang. She's one of the leader.
And I just mentioned her because she's one of the first people that I ran into, basically announcing Andrew on stage.
Oh, really?
At that rally.
Oh, okay. Oh, on the is that the LA rally?
It was San Francisco rally.
San Francisco. So
yeah, the first one I attended was San Francisco.
I see. There was a rallies before that San Francisco one?
I believe so, but I believe the San Francisco was the first major one. I think he had smaller rallies. I think they called it the Freedom Dividend of America rallies or something to that effect. They had some special name for the rallies going from that forward.
Because I saw you cover one from Washington State.
Yeah, I was in Seattle.
I think Oregon. I think it was Oregon.
Yep, there's one in Oregon.
Okay, so it was after those or before that?
It was way before that. San Francisco was the first one.
I see. Huh, okay. You say you didn't get permission to put their faces on your cover. Can I get like resemblance on the cover?
You know what I mean? I don't know how. I mean, it works for like videos, but I don't know how it would work for books. I think there'd be a lot of legal, issues.
Yeah,
implications. I mean, I definitely will talk about them in the book, but I just wanted my idea for the book cover was to use AI generated faces because I thought that would be what's ironic. Yeah, that's the word. I guess that's right. Ironic to have AI generated faces on the book cover.
I see.
So
let me see if I could show my cover.
And it's crazy that you can do that now.
And it will look like a real people. Is that the one you sent me? Is that the AI generated faces?
Yes.
It was.
That's a whole website with AI generated faces.
Now you don't owe them anything if you use their faces. You sure?
No. Yeah, it's free. The only thing you owe them is if you want to download the pictures, then you can pay you get like 4 free, but then you can pay for extra downloads if you want to download more faces and have it as a full picture for you to edit. Then that costs money, but they don't own the rights on the faces. They just provide the service.
Just to give you what I had in mind. I showed you this before. So in the front, you're gonna be in the front. Replace these 4 guys in the front. Then
those 6-pack abs.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on like trench coat.
Okay.
So you're not too
suit jacket.
Yeah, it's inappropriate to have a half naked man on a cover of New Leaders.
Yeah.
But if you want me to put abs on there, I could.
Okay.
But I was thinking, it'd be cool to have people like, grassroots guys. You met these guys too, right?
Yep. I met them a couple times.
Yeah. I don't know who these 2 guys are.
See, I didn't meet I wasn't there for the famous people. I didn't meet the Gambino or
you don't have that
Dave Chappelle.
$1,000 shirt, the 1K
Yeah.
shirt.
And then I was in Vegas, but I didn't meet Dan, the poker guy. His name's Dan too. I forget what his last name is right this moment, but yeah, I didn't meet the poker guy.
Yeah. How about the oh, I saw you with the Fred. Fred
Fred's famous. I definitely met Fred.
Yeah, he's famous. He's famous, right? And what's her name? Paget. You met Paget.
Yep, I met famous Pageant as well.
Yeah. So yeah, don't tell me you didn't meet famous people.
Okay. I met famous Yang Gang people. I met Scott Garibay. I met Linsight people. I don't know if you remember.
Linsight, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Tully? Have you met Tully?
Who?
Tully, guy, the shaving guy.
Yes.
You met him? Okay. What about Wyatt, the kid?
Kai Watson, yes.
Kai Watson, not Wyatt. Kai Watson.
Yes, I met Kai Watson.
I haven't seen his video lately.
No, he took a vacation. I don't know what he's doing now.
I see. Mm-hmm. So everything has been slowing down for Yang Gang.
Yeah.
I think this is a sign of that Yang Gang is dispersing.
No, we just need money, and we'll get back up again. So hopefully, if I, make enough money on my book, I can fund Yang Gang projects. And I'm trying to network and talk to people, but a lot of people that have the money are kind of, they only want to invest in people we're like in the paid positions of the campaign, the campaign people just started a media company, and so they're getting a lot of the funding now because they're legitimate. So us Yang Gang on the fringes are not getting the big investment dollars right now. So hopefully that will change in the future as we become more legitimate. That's part of my plan.
Yeah. Also, it's probably not a good time to ask money from people right now.
Well, the people that you ask money for have it, so it's fine. I don't know. I mean, yeah, everybody's scared, but I mean, the people that have the money are okay during this time, and will be okay after this time. It's just, they have an idea in their mind that they can only invest in, ventures that have, people with lots of people with 4-year degrees, people who have ran like multi businesses before and things like that. And a lot of Yang Gang are new on the scene. They're just like, they're little startup companies, and they haven't got to that level, I feel, of sophistication that, people are like ready to go all in on them. But I think if people did go all in on them, like my channel, like Problem Solver Politics, like Voice even, or even on Pageant, if people put more money towards their channels, I think it would go a lot further than putting this money towards these people that are kind of like, have been in the circle, I guess.
Well, isn't Pageant channel and Problem Solver Politics, aren't they pretty well established now?
Well, they're getting it, but they still are it's kind of like a grassroots business because they get a lot of small donors. They don't have anybody big backing them.
You're looking for big backers?
I'm just saying, if the big backers were investing in these little channels, we would do a lot better than investing in like this new media company that got started. from ex-campaign staff, because that's where all the big backers are going right now. They're going to like that kind of company, you know. It's just a fact.
That got me curious. I wonder if remember how Fred was going to cover 5 trucks?
Yeah.
Is he still doing that?
No, not anymore. He doesn't. In fact, he doesn't think that Andrew's going to need the name recognition that he needed in the past. So
yeah,
doing that kind of truck campaign is probably not going to be as necessary.
Right. He's beyond that right now.
He's keeping his wrap truck through the general election, at least, because it's expensive to get it wrapped and it's expensive to get it unwrapped, and so he's just staying with it for now.
Isn't there another truck that's wrapped, or I thought there was 2 trucks?
I think he had one more. Yes.
Okay. Right. I never seen that picture of that one.
Yeah, I didn't either. So I wonder if he did finally get the one truck wrapped. I don't know.
I know he had a driver for it, person who was going to drive it, but
right.
Yeah, it's too bad that I mean, Yang Gang is all about grassroots support,
right?
And the timing is wrong for you, Yang Gang, to have a support from just normal people.
Yeah.
Right now, because of a situation we're in, and one of the things that you did, I mean, your thing was that meeting people on the streets and talking to them.
Right, and it's hard for me to do that anymore.
Yeah, not with the social distancing going on, right?
Yeah. Hey,
tell me.
Interview 6 feet away.
Like 10-foot poles, and
yeah.
So, now, do you miss that? You used to travel quite a bit.
I do. I mean, I thought that was maybe my niche, to interview people on the street, because I don't have any qualms or issues with doing it. So, and it was fun, and I like to meet new people. So I thought that might be, like a good niche for me. But now with my channel, what I'm attempting, or the focus I'm going to go in, as I can, motivate myself to do it, is for American Jobs Factory. I'm going to focus in on nonprofits, and because Andrew has a nonprofit now, I'm going to talk about that.
Humanity Forward.
Humanity Forward. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try to get some interviews with people connected with Humanity Forward, on over the internet, and then I'm also going to talk to different nonprofit organizations and kind of interview them and ask them, what they do, how they help people, and then focus on doing like interviews like that with nonprofits.
So how's as far as the American Job Factories, how much have you done on that part?
On the actual business, the nonprofit business model?
Yeah.
So I feel like right now it's just about advertising, because I have to really focus on branding. So I don't expect it to take off for a while, that people are going to really want to donate or understand my vision. And plus, I think I need to pay to get some explainer videos done, because it's really hard to I think for some people it's hard to understand the concept of American Jobs Factory. So I need to do some explainer videos. But what I'm going to start doing too is I'm going to do some interviews with some business people and people that are involved in like nonprofit organizations, and talk out the concept of my nonprofit and get their feedback. because maybe I need to change some things. I don't know, but I'm going to get their feedback, and hopefully that will help.
Well, I mean, when this blows over, I don't know when this is gonna blow over, but finding jobs is gonna be problem for a lot of people, I think.
And, did you lose me?
Yeah, I lost
All
you
of a
for a little
sudden,
bit. I
yeah,
lost you for
all
a
of a
little
sudden,
bit.
you lost
Oops.
me again. All of a sudden, it decided that it didn't want to show me anymore. It was weird.
Okay, you're back.
Cameras.
I think you're back
There's always
on.
an
Did you hear me?
Okay.
Did
Yeah,
you
I
hear
hear
me?
you fine.
Okay.
I
I
hear
mean,
you
did you
fine.
hear my last question before I lost you?
Oh, jobs are going to be needed, and that's why, I mean, I hope that I can build this thing, because I really think the idea of a job or the organization of jobs needs to change, and that's why I created the nonprofit, because a lot of times jobs are only about the profit, making the money, and it's not about the people. And so I truly believe to make great jobs, we have to put people over profits. And the only way that we're going to change the culture, I feel, for the solving the problems that we're all facing in the future, is to create jobs that are healthy and focused on the benefit of people for all the future things that we're facing. So that's the whole idea of the nonprofit.
Jobs that I mean, a lot of people. Go ahead.
Yeah, it just focuses on people over profit. And the way that I do that is basically a system. So some of the things that are lacking in the job market is transparency, or lacking with companies is transparency. So a lot of times you go to a job, you don't even know what kind of value you're bringing to a company. It's a big secret. Okay, your pay is a big secret. How much value you're bringing to the company is a big secret. And so just making those elements transparent. So there's a whole thing where you're not supposed to talk about how much you make. Well, you should be able to see what you make and what everybody makes. But I mean, you don't need to put it out there like your name connected to, hey, this is how much I make. You could have it open transparency with, like, you have an ID number only you know about. So you're like, oh, that person, whoever they are, make more than me. And then you should be able to kind of click in on them and see maybe why. So you could compare, and maybe they have more skills than you do. Like, you should be able to check that out, and you should have a path to be able to build on your own skills so that you can bring more value. And then you should also see how much value you're bringing towards a company, and how much pay you get compared to that value. So that's all that's, a design and a system, so that you can not have any big secret about your job at a company. And
Nice.
you can move up through the ranks, or move up to what you want to do by increasing your value, your skills in a company. Have trainings, if you have not new ideas, be able to share them and then be acted on, not put to the back. And if we have that are competing in the workforce that are healthy like that, then we're going to take down all these corrupt companies that are, doing things like polluting the earth, polluting our water, our oceans, and things like that. Because we can have a healthy company that's not doing that and it's treating their employees well. Everybody's going to want to work for that company. So in capitalism, it's competing in the market. So the best way to take out these corrupt, crony capitalistic businesses is to compete in the market better and safer, and about people first, and hopefully we can take down some of these companies that are doing the wrong thing.
It seems like it would be a little costly to, in this particular environment, to have a safer, friendlier, and people-friendlier companies.
Well, that's the whole thing too. So, I mean, the unions have been going out of style for the last 20, 30 years, right? And like back in the day when they had Jimmy Hoffa and things like that, the unions had a lot of power because the mob was entangled with them, okay? But, you know, the mob was corrupt, and so the government had to take them down. But as they as the government took the mobs down, the unions lost more power, and then they weren't able to sway policy and politics for workers, and that's kind of continued on. So in no way am I saying that the mob was a good idea, but I'm saying that we need to have a system that sways policy for workers, and the only way to really do that is compete in this capitalistic system that we've created, and the way that is done is to compete and do things better. Well, nobody is really stepping up to compete and do things better in the human resource type of way, so that we can have sway over government policy. And so that's kind of how I think the only solution is. Not, I mean, I'd love for Andrew to win the presidency, but I don't trust the government. I'm more libertarian as far as that's concerned, I guess. But I don't trust the government to ever take care of us. I kind of had hope there for a second. Maybe they will do something great, like pass a freedom dividend, like Andrew said. We do this one thing and we'll all look up like, hey, the government finally did something right. But the government hasn't done anything right yet. So
yeah,
the real way to operate is not trust the government, but to do our own thing. And that doing our own thing in the system we've created is to create a company that will do the right thing and sway others. So when Henry Ford started the 40-hour work week and better pay for workers, he did it for capitalistic reasons. He did it because, I mean, everybody touts how great he was and cared about his workers, but really what he was doing is he had high turnover and he wanted to stop it. And he realized that if he paid his workers better and treated them better, he wouldn't have high turnover and it would be better for his business, and it was. But then once he started doing that, 40-hour work weeks started to be the norm and higher pay started to be the norm. So we need a business in the same train of thought that is going to set the standard for other businesses. Because if we have a company that sets the standard for other businesses, then they'll just keep following along and people will outcompete, how well they treat their workers.
So you're basically saying you're going to compete for the people. You're going to compete for the good people.
And part of the system in doing that is having the people ultimately have control over the companies. And there has to be a way for somebody who's on the ground floor to raise up into the decision-making tree. And that's a lot of times what we don't have, because what companies do is the decision makers come out of the Ivy League schools with a degree, and they don't take it from the people who have been working there for 20 years and have great ideas because they know the business in and out and they've worked it. They start hiring outside from the people that supposedly know better because they have a college degree, an Ivy League degree. So that's what has to stop in this system. And so ultimately, somebody who has an Ivy League degree, it's not like they're going to be pushed out altogether. It's like a point system. Like you come in with certain points. And if you get a degree, you might have a little bit more points, but somebody who's been there 20 years can develop their own skills and have more points than a person coming in with a degree because they worked hard. But there has to be some way to measure it.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a very ambitious task. The conversation remind me of how bad even our Democrats Party wasn't able to push UBI in this pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really. I'm sure you were too, right? Disappointed in both parties, both Republican and Democrat, not making this.
Well, they have too many people who don't trust. They have too many executives that don't trust people. They think people are going to use the money badly, which is I mean, Andrew talked about it so many times. Like, we don't ask people who have dividends or stock, how are they going to use the money? But there's still this ideology that we can't give money to people because they're going to use it badly. And I was listening to Nerds for Yang the other day, and his brother was on, who's MAGA, and he was saying basically the same thing. I don't trust people. If you give people money, then they're going to have more babies, and that's going to overpopulate the world. And the data doesn't show that to be true, but that's the mindset. Like, the mindset is we don't trust people, and that came in with this bailout. Ultimately, they trust companies and big corporations more than they trust individual people.
I think that is a very. I mean, that's going against the data. If you are well off, if a society is well off in general, that society has less babies. For instance, I remember watching tsunami incident happened somewhere in the very poor island nation around India somewhere, and people were having 8 kids, 10 kids, and their mindset was that 80% of my kids going to die. So for them to take care of me, I have to have a lot of kids, and maybe 2 or 3 will survive, and then when in my old age they'll take care of me.
Yeah,
and these are
it's
people.
An investment. Yeah.
It's people, and it's poor countries that have a lot of babies. If you have and a lot of it's poor countries that are overpopulated, like Japan, even Korea now, and United States has been losing population because people don't get married and people don't have babies.
And that's what the data shows.
That's what data shows. And I don't understand if your society is well off, because your society is well off if you bring the bottom up, right? What UBI is proposing is that we're going to bring the bottom up,
right?
And it's
but it's not happening, and too many people complain about corporations not taking care of people. Well, I mean, we need to. The only mechanism we have in a capitalistic society is to create a corporation that actually takes care of people, and I'm not seeing that happen. So,
well, I mean, trickle down economy has been advertised since Ronald Reagan era,
right?
And it has proven false. It hasn't proven itself.
Right.
I think there's one billionaire who gave up 25% of his wealth. I think it was one of the Twitter president or somebody.
Well, Dan Price is not a billionaire, but he's probably a high millionaire who took a pay cut in order to pay all of his employees $70,000 a year.
Oh, not that one. There's recently during the pandemic, this guy gave out. he was a billionaire, but not the billionaire like Jeff Bezos, but lower
Mark
scale
Cuban?
billionaire.
Are we talking about Mark Cuban?
No, not Mark Cuban. I don't. I forgot his name. Anyway, he gave out 25% of his wealth to help out the pandemic victims. And
Okay.
you had this one guy,
Right.
and you got Jeff Bezos and all these guys. Nada. You don't
Right.
hear nothing from them. Matter of
Right.
fact, Amazon's on strike. People are striking because they're not treating their employees right.
Right. And what I'm doing with my nonprofit is basically people won't need to go on strike because they will basically be running all the human resource operations. So it's really like they would be striking against themselves if they tried to go on strike because they make the decisions. So
Okay.
that's, I mean, that's the idea.
Anyway, hours coming up.
Okay.
Reason I wanted to have a live interview with you is because I want to see if I could create a promotional video for your book and put it on my channel, and maybe even you could put it on your channel. And hopefully, I could talk more about that in remaining 10 minutes or so that maybe I could have some content created from this live talk. So let's see
So
if
the main purpose I feel of the book is advertising because Andrew still needs his ideas and his name out there. If he's going, I mean, if we're going to see a change in the future, we still need to get the ideas and Andrew's name out there. So the book is an advertising piece. I'm hoping that more people will want to read about what happened with this campaign, and it will, my hope would be that it would make a bestsellers type of list, or get out there on the news, and I could do like book tours and go talk to multiple people and show up on multiple shows. But that would be the dream. But either way, more people need to know what kind of happened with this campaign, because there's lots of people that still, I bet, don't even know who Andrew Yang is, and it's kind of ridiculous at this point.
yeah,
And
UBI is finally coming up. People are finally understanding what UBI is, I think, because I hear some noises that UBI
right,
is communistic idea, or UBI is making lazy people more lazy,
yeah,
and UBI is stealing from somebody to give to stealing from productive people to. A lot of this talk is
right,
coming up right now. Those kind
right,
of talk didn't come up before, but it is coming up now, and it's one thing that I realized as a young tuber and closely following Twitters and all that on all these social media is that social media is not the real world,
yeah,
and we gotta somehow figure out a way to talk these Yang's idea visions to normal people. And right now,
yeah,
normal people are finally seeing it, and they're at the resistance stage. They
right,
haven't gone to the acceptance stage yet. And a lot of people are finally, at least now, they're at the resistance stage. And I'm encouraged by that because more people are aware, you know. But uh, it's as a as a Yang Gang, it pains me that what we know is not well known. I mean, we are very minute
right.
percentage of people in the United States.
Well,
Even
there's definitely, we need to go heavy on the marketing, and there's still a lot of guerrilla marketing that can be done. And I mean, we just we need to grow. We need to grow and get the word out that this is an option. You know, if we want to have a future that we can believe in, we need to have the resources. That's all that is too. You know, food is a resource. You know, water, our breath, our air is a resource, and we need to protect it.
Yeah. Anyway, Richard Lee was telling Jack Dorsey was the person I was talking about. The guy who gave 25% of his wealth to help the pandemic. He's a Twitter founder. So that's who I was talking about. Yeah. And according to Richard,
is it Jack Dorsey?
Yeah, Jack Dorsey is his name, the billionaire.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what Richard Lee is.
No, Richard Lee he's the one who gave us information.
Right.
Yeah. According to Richard Lee, MSNBC endorsed. When that happened, a lot of people are not accepting, even Fox News, I saw them talking good things about UBI. And who was a recent UBI supporter that's famous?
Dave Chappelle.
No, I mean after the pandemic.
Oh, I don't know. There was some Republicans and
Mitt Romney. Yeah, that was Mitt Romney was one, but a lot of people who were actually against it or didn't think it was a good idea are coming around to it now. Oh, Pope.
Yeah.
The Pope. Thank you,
the
Richard.
Pope, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Pope.
pretty famous.
Yeah.
The Pope, yeah.
I saw what's his name wasn't very kind to Pope.
Yeah, well, he's atheist, so
mindful skeptic. But he did have a point.
He does not know what he does.
Huh?
You have to forgive him, Father, for he does not know what he does.
Well, so I'm curious as that conversation, how that went. Did it voice and you, Christian versus atheist? I'm going to spend next. I think I'm done with talking about your book. I think unless you have more you want to talk about on your book.
No, it's just a behind the scenes look at the past year on the
Are you making a YouTube video on it too, or behind the scene?
I did a clip from Voices from Mindful Skeptics interview, but no, I'm not doing a more in-depth video than I've already done. I just kind of announced it, but I probably will do a video at some point with me reading the book out loud on video.
Oh, like Andrew Yang's book on YouTube. I think
only it will be a video of me reading it.
Oh, according to Richard, just today, MSNBC endorsed UBI.
Okay.
Is that right, Richard?
So I'll have to look at that. I haven't seen anything from the Matt and Zach show right now, but
I'm not gonna thought about maybe playing his video on my live channel, right. But yeah, that's not proper. Yeah, I guess I better go watch you arguing with Voice on. But if you want, that's what you guys need to do is change places. Because Voice has mic and Voice has all the control when he's testing Christian with D, right?
Well, he brought on Russell, who is also, I guess, atheist leaning or atheist, I don't know, but Russell had some issues too. So
your audio got cut out a little bit.
Russell, Russell from
Yeah.
Pastor TJ, he came on, and has atheist leanings, or is atheist. I'm not quite sure, but he came on and he had some definite issues with Christianity that we tried to discuss a little bit.
Under what Fred's position? What's the Fred's position?
Fred's a Christian leaning guy.
Oh, is he?
I don't know if he's a full Christian, but he's definitely Christian leaning.
Okay. you know I'm a Christian, right? So
yes.
Yeah, I had a Pastor Broer once. I talked to Pastor Broer. Do you know him? Have you met him?
No.
From Iowa.
Okay.
Let me see if I could. Let me see if I could find. Oh, you met this guy, Trump for Yang?
I don't know what guy.
This Trump for Yang.
I don't think so.
Okay, let me see if I could find Pastor Broer.
But so I am from the Ray Comfort Living Waters school of thought when it comes to Christianity. So you want to?
You're what?
Ray Comfort Living Waters is his ministry. He's an evangelist, and I'm in his camp of how to talk to people about Christianity or how Christianity works. So
I thought maybe Scott Gabriel has a pretty.
Gabriel is a Christian too.
Yeah, he's. I think he's really. He has a very limited definition of what evangelical Christian are. That I mean, that made me realize I'm not an evangelical Christian. I'm just Christian, according to his definition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so there's an actual evangel church. I'm saying that wrong, but there's an actual church that's called that. I think that's his definition, but he's not talking about a Christian that just evangelizes or uses evangelism in their life. He's talking about the actual evangelistic church.
I see. I can find Pastor Broer.
Well, send me a link later.
Okay. Well, this is another guy who was talking about UBI, who was against UBI. I like this guy. You met this guy?
No.
He's not a Yang Gang, but he's been he has a progressive view mostly.
Yeah.
And Bo of the Fifth Column. I really like this guy, following him. Very smart dude. He finally coming around to thinking that UBI is the right solution. He was against it before, but yeah. So this is a very recent video, April 19th. Yeah, Christian. Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of what we believe as Christians. I mean, we don't want to have to prove it. It's our fate. So it's hard to prove fate.
Well, I was just trying to prove that we have a conscience. I was trying to end with that. So I think that's the only proof that Jesus is real, is that he speaks to our conscience. Every person has one. So
yeah, even scientists cannot prove what conscience. I mean, scientists cannot see what conscience is.
Yeah, and that's the only difference humans have to animals. We care about justice. We care about matters of the conscience. You know, you don't see monkeys getting a court together and having a law service for somebody who a monkey that's been wronged. So we're the only ones who care about justice. That's why we're not animals. We're human beings.
I've seen some animals. I don't know if feel guilty and stuff.
Yeah, sure, but they don't try to have a just hearing to hear somebody out and make a decision.
Well, I only be playing devil's advocate here, so. But yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm gonna end this. Do you have anything else behind this?
No, go to my. Can you put my link on there and go to my website AmericanJobsFactory.com and you can download it.
About your what was that project site?
Indiegogo is the platform I'm using to crowdfund, and so far only last time I checked it, Fred had donated, and I don't know if anybody else has, but Fred did. So he's on.
I was going to donate, but I got stuck somewhere. So let me see if you want me to go to that site?
Sure.
Let me see. Indiegogo. Let me see if I can find it. Let me take this off for now.
Yeah, I don't know if you can find it. It's better to go through my link on one of my videos.
Let's see. American Factory, Job Factory. Will it be in here?
I realized right now that I don't have it on my website now. I just realized that.
Well, you need to put it on there.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the book on here by pressing the button, but if you're not on Nam's computer, if you're on any other computer, apparently, but to look at the crowdfunding campaign, you'll want to click on one of my latest videos, and you'll have the link there. So if you go to my American Jobs Factory on YouTube,
let me find the American Job Factory on YouTube. American Job Factory on YouTube. Is it in here somewhere?
Yeah, go to my latest video. Latest video.
This one or this one?
Sure, any latest video, like the last one. Go to the pause it. Yeah. Go to the description.
This one?
Yeah. I think the first one. There you go.
All right. Fred, there's a Fred right there.
Yeah, there's Fred. So I need a lot more people to donate.
Yeah.
Let's get it going.
All right. So please go to crowdfunding. Does it matter if I support you through Indiegogo or through your Venmo? Do they take a percentage of the money or no?
They do. That's part of their crowdfunding. So yes, you can make a donation through Venmo. You can also do it on my website, but only on here will it be seen.
So does it mean more to you that donate through here? Or
well, just keep in mind, if you donate to me personally, I can't guarantee a refund. But if you donate on Indigo, you'll be guaranteed a refund if it doesn't fully fund.
I see. So it's like I see. So it does mean a little bit more to you to be here. Okay, I understand.
Well, I'll take your money either way, but I just want you to realize
one money is sort of guaranteed because I'm the.
Yeah, this has to be fully funded for it to go through. If it's not fully funded, everyone will get a full refund.
Okay. Well, okay. I
So,
understand now.
but if you
Okay.
want to send just a donation for $40 to the nonprofit and say, please send me a book, I will put you on the book list. Either way, so
Oh, okay.
it is really up to you.
I see. All right. All right. Thanks for coming by. It was good seeing you, Daniel.
Good
It's
seeing you
been
too. Thanks,
uh,
ma'am.
we need to do a little road trip. We're now living near each other. You don't have any kind of. I haven't seen you cough or
Mask.
anything. You do have
Yeah,
mask. You do have mask,
I,
right?
I have a mask, so
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
be wearing that. I'm gonna do a video on masks here soon. I have some masks that are in the mail that are taking a long time because of the backload. So once I get my masks, I'm gonna show them off on a video. So that'll
What
be
the little
interesting.
mat? Little mat. Mat.
Yeah, not
Well,
that cool. Not,
not that.
not a not a Andrew Yang 2020 mask, but I have my own kind of mask. I'll show
I
you.
see. Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, good seeing you, Daniel. Maybe I could make a video out of this. Uh,
Well, I hope so. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Keep classy, buy a book, and support the future of universal basic
Thank
income.
you,
We need a
Richard.
freedom dividend, people.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye, Daniel.
Bye.
In broadcast.